Hey guys, and welcome back to the Coder's Legacy channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you something very cool, basically how to extract iframes from a video in Python using PyAV. PyAV is a library that's a wrapper around FFmpeg, by the way. So yeah, now before we begin, I'm just going to briefly explain video compression for those of you who don't know. Otherwise, this is just some good information. I'll try to go through this quickly. So basically, we have three types of frames: iframes, and P frames and B frames. Iframes, well, let me explain video compression first, okay? So typically videos are compressed. Very rarely are you going to see a video that is uncompressed, because an uncompressed video is just a still, like, it's just a sequence of still images, um, raw still images. Now, what is much more efficient is, instead of recording the individual frames and then playing them in a sequence, it's much easier to only keep a small percentage of frames as the original frame, as the original uncompressed frame, and instead the rest is kept as a change set or a delta. So basically, if let me explain this in easy terms. You have a 10-minute video, only 100 frames or so out of, say, around 10,000 are actually going to be the keyframes, the iframes, 100 or 200 or so, depending on the settings. Now, you have an iframe of a person who's standing still. And what should be in the next frame, in the original video, the next frame is an image of the person, the same person, but his hand is just moving a little, his hand just moves a little bit. So instead of recording the entire second frame as it is, even though 99% of it is the same thing as the first image, you're just going to record the change set, the pixels that have changed. It's much more efficient that way, because you're only recording a small number of pixels instead of, all of the pixels, which most of which have not changed. So that's what a P frame and a B frame is. The only difference, by the way, between a P frame and a B frame is that the P frame is one that comes directly after the I frame. The P frame depends only on the previous frame. Okay, the B frame, the only difference is that the B frame depends on both the frame after it and the frame before it. So that's the only difference, really. So yeah, that's the basic gist of how compression in videos work. So I'm going to show you how to extract the iframes. I'll also show you how to extract the iframes and the P frames. Okay, I'll show you both things here today. Now let's open up our code. Alright, so here I have an 11-minute video, and we're going to do some stuff with this. I'm just going to comment this out for a second, and I just want to show you something cool, how to calculate the number of frames, or not really calculate, more like just find out. So this is all you need to do. And now we have the number of frames, 20,516. That's how many frames are in this. Now let's find out, or actually, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to just remove that, uncomment this. Whoops. Now what this does is that it tells PyAV and FFmpeg to basically skip every frame that is not a keyframe being an iframe. So it's going to skip the P frames and the B frames and any other miscellaneous types of frames, like invalid or corrupted frames. So yeah, that's what this is going to do. I want to show you guys what the frames look like. So what the keyframes look like. So I'm going to save these, and let's run this code. They're going to get saved to this output folder. Okay, that was really fast. Oh, by the way, I'm also using multi-threading for decoding the video, which is one reason why it's kind of fast. Let's go see how many frames are here. Okay, so that's about 140 or so. Right, 141. That is pretty accurate to what I was mentioning earlier, 100 frames per 10-minute video. So yeah, this is how many keyframes there are on this particular video. So you can see that there's significant differences between each of these frames. That's because they're keyframes. but that's not necessarily the case, because typically it's not like they look for changes and then when they see a big change they make a keyframe. That's not typically how it works. It's just like it every 15 frames or so, or every 30 frames or so, depending on the encoder settings during compression. It depends on that, I believe. So yeah, that's how you can extract keyframes from a video. Now another thing that you can also do, let me just delete that output folder, and you can instead choose to do non-ref. And what this is going to do is it's going to keep the iframes and the p frames, and it's going to remove the b frames. All right. So this is also an option if you want. Like if you want the in between, for the normal mode and for the non-key mode, the keyframe extraction mode. So yeah, this is an option. This is going to take a bit longer because obviously there's going to be a lot more frames this time. Alright, so it's done. Let's see how many frames there were. Oh wow, that's a lot. Okay, so this is a bit of an unusual case because the total number of frames was 20,500 and these are basically 20,000, so there's not much of a difference. So we can tell that this video was compressed in a relatively high quality format, because in higher quality images the number of B frames is generally kept kind of low, but in more compressed videos the number of B frames can go up to like 80% or so I've heard. Uh, so yeah, so this is gonna have mixed results depending on the compression level of the video, but iframes are generally always gonna return only a small number of frames unless the video is like uncompressed or something. So yeah, hope you guys found this video interesting and useful. See you guys in a later video.